Hey, how are you? This is Rabbi Bregman. I want to share with you a really interesting conversation I had yesterday with a friend of mine, a colleague who's a business person. He reaches out to me from time to time, exchanges different ideas, and a distinction came up, something I told him in the conversation that I thought would benefit you, be interesting. I've often told people, if you just follow me around for a day, you get a lot of good Torah insights and ideas, and you get a lot of work ethic out of it. I'd probably exhaust you in the process, but you'll hear a lot of fascinating ideas, I think, from my mouth and hopefully from people I deal with. One thing that came out of this call that I told this fella, and this is what I want to share with you, is that when you're interested in building in life, there's two basic spheres in which you could build. One, whether you're a man or a woman, you could be interested in building your resume. And the other area you might be very interested in building is your legacy. Some people are very interested in building their resume. Some people are interested in building their legacy. Now, what do I mean by resume? I don't mean the 9.5 by 11 piece of paper that says what you did in the past, your GPA, accomplishments and honors, things like that. What I mean by your resume is the kind of stuff that the world considers to be an accomplishment, a notch in your belt, a notch in terms of what you've accomplished, that stuff that the world applauds and claps you for and gives you likes and thumbs up and says, you're great, you're wonderful, you're going to be promoted, moved ahead, paid more, honored, recognized, yay, we're going to celebrate you. That's what I mean by resume kind of stuff. Most people spend most of their days, and when I say days, I don't mean Monday to Friday, I mean their lifetime building resume kind of stuff. The other area in which you could definitely devote a lot of energy to build is stuff that I call legacy things. Now, legacy, the way I'm defining it for the purpose of this little video, is the kind of values and qualities by which you will be remembered, and specifically in terms of the contributions you made that help other people. And look, let's be honest, don't be picky and pick apart what I'm saying. Look, we both know that you could you could do something that builds your resume, like you cure cancer, and that's part of your legacy. I understand. Be that person who accomplishes that. We'll love you in both categories. But in general, there's two kind of areas you could build. You could build your resume or build your legacy. If you're working on getting an MBA or a PhD or becoming the CEO of a company, that'll build your resume, but that's not necessarily building your legacy per se. And really, I think it's very important in life, and I was telling this fella, and I'm just sharing with you, to try to always be building on both spheres. Try to build in both. I'm not saying it's a 50-50 in terms of how you spend your time, but make sure it's both, because the world forgets about you so quickly. If they ever even knew who you were, they might not remember you at all. But your family will, your community, your spouse, your children. I just think it's really important to build the memories and what you put into those people who really care about you. You know, I was telling my kids just the other day, I was telling my kids, and they're old enough, some of them are old enough to understand that I told them, I said, I want you to know, I don't love you because of what you do and what you make and what you produce. I love you because of who you are and that you are and what you are, not because of what you do. You hear the distinction? The world as a whole will only love you for your resume. What do you do for them? What is the value you add to them? And even then, they might not even love you. But if they do, it could be short-lived, but it's based on what you do, what you produce. But when it comes to your legacy and the people that you really love in life, you love them because of what they are, that they exist. Saying this to my kids, look, if you get an A in school or a B or a C, as long as you tried your best, I'm proud of you, but I love you because you are. I don't love you for your accomplishment. I love you because that's what you are. But the world doesn't operate like that. The world doesn't love you because of your legacy and your traits and your inner qualities and what you are. The world doesn't care about you like that. The world cares about you for what you bring to the table. It's kind of interesting as a side note, just I'll leave you some food for thought as I'm thinking of making up this video right now. It's kind of as I go. I'm just sharing with you some stuff that I told the kids, conversation with this business guy. It's interesting if you think about it then, if you work with your wife or your spouse, it's interesting. Like in a business context, you love them for what they do and make and produce, but you got to love them for who and what they are irrespective. Anyway, something to think about. This is Rabbi Bregman. I hope this video has been valuable to you. If so, your call to action is please subscribe to this YouTube channel so you can continue to get these videos on a daily basis. Share these ideas with others. I think they're interesting. Think about it. Work on it on your own. Legacy, resume? Where are you spending most of your time, energy, heart, and effort trying to build? And is it things that you're going to be remembered from in your eulogy? Because in your eulogy, when you pass away, people aren't going to remember your resume so much. Speak about your character traits, who really you were and how you made them feel. Not what you did with your GPA. Okay, be well. We'll talk. Bye.